distinct pleasure to introduce a man who, for many here at Rebel Park, needs no introduction. Bob Weiss is a longtime coach, owner of the Harrisonburg Turks. In fact, he owned the Turks for 35 years, up until he coached for 25 years. In that time, I know he won one championship with coach, but a lot of folks.
Hello and welcome to Slightly Cloudy, Newmarket, Virginia for tonight's Valley Baseball League contest between the visiting Culpeper Cavaliers and the homestanding Newmarket Rebels. Caught a little bit of the first pitch festivities there between for Bob Weiss night here in Newmarket. We'll talk about that as the night goes on, but quick, we want to get you the starting lineups.
Thank you, Andrew. So starting for Culpeper, leading off will be Nick Madsen, number 20, playing center field. After him will be Ty Powell, the second baseman, wearing number 18. Batting third will be Johnny Sutrick, number 41, and he will be the designated hitter for the Cavaliers. Batting cleanup will be Grayson Gegg, number 17, and playing first base. Batting fifth, Braden Weaver, number 38, playing left field. After him will be Cole Pippinger, playing shortstop and wearing number 11. Luca Perriello comes after him, wearing number 6 and playing third base. Doing the catching tonight for the Cavaliers will be Noah Burnham, wearing number 29. And lastly will be Lucas Franz, number 16, playing right field. And on the mound tonight for the Cavs will be Brayton Good, wearing number 12.
Very good. And the lineup for the homestanding Newmarket Rebels, leading off playing shortstop, number 12, Maddox Land. Batting second, playing second, out of FAU, Jonathan Lopez. Batting third, playing center field, Mario Magana Jr. Batting fourth, playing right field, Joe Terranova. Batting fifth, the designated hitter, Jaden Harriel. Batting sixth, playing left field tonight, Matt Murphy. Batting seventh, playing third base out of Indian River, David Pena. Batting eighth, doing the catching, number 3, Mario Lopez Jr. Playing first base, batting ninth, Paige Doris. And on the mound tonight for the Rebels, out of Charleston Southern, Zach Stitchway. With that, he's ready to go, and he fires a first pitch strike. Matson leading off for the Cavaliers. Slowly hits a third. Going to be a tough play for Pena. He gloves it, throws across. Had to wait for the call. It was close. It'll go down as a 5-3 putout to get the game started for Stitchway and the Rebels. Bang bang play over there at first base. That'll bring up Ty Powell batting second. Stitchway working out of the wind up. This is just low for a ball. Zach coming into tonight's game with a record of no wins and 1 loss. He has 2 appearances, 1 start, and a 6.00 ERA in 6 innings pitched. Don't let that fool you, though. All of those runs that he allowed came in 1 inning as he was tiring at the end of that start. So he started off his Rebel time with 6 scoreless before getting into trouble. He's ahead, 1 ball and 2 strikes now on Powell.
I have a feeling Zach isn't going to let that outing get to his head too much. Me and Jack got a chance to interview him.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Powell goes down.
We got a chance to talk to Zach after his game versus Covington, where he was able to help us come back in that game, and he talked about, you know, his mindset in that one and how he, you know, just the whole bullpen was very resilient, and I have a feeling they have a short memory regarding games like that.
Pretty much the mentality you have to have as a pitcher, because even the best pitchers in the world get into trouble from time to time. First pitch is popped up behind the plate. Lopez Jr. is going to reel it in for the 3rd out of the inning. That's 1, 2, 3 for Stitchway. No runs, no hits, no errors. No runners left on base for the Cavaliers. Maddox Land's going to lead things off for the Rebels on the other side of this quick break. Brayton Good finishing his warm-up pitches for the Cavaliers. Going to be tough duty for the Rebels tonight. Good coming into tonight. 6 2/3 inning pitched. Has only allowed 1 hit and no runs. Cavaliers as a whole, very strong on the mound, coming in with a 4.67 team ERA. Good for 2nd in the Valley League. Playing a lot of close games. More than half the Cavaliers games this far decided by 1 run. And all of their games within 3 runs. So no run rule games for Cavaliers so far this year.
I'm sure those are the kind of games the Rebels and Cavalier fans want to see.
Here is Maddox Land for the Rebels, leading off out of Pensacola State. Batting right-handed. Rebels have a few switch hitters in their lineup, Land being one of them. I know there's some excitement to get to hit right-handed. They've had a lot of left-handed duty as switch hitters with not getting a lot of left-handed pitching. Swing and a miss. He's behind 0-1-1. Sorry. Miscatalogued the first pitch. So 1-1 on Land. Jonathan Lopez on deck for the Rebels. Little League night here at the ballpark, so lots of kids running around. Big crowd on the home side. Moderate crowd, I would say, on the Culpeper side of things. 1-2 to Land. Ground ball up the middle. Going to be a tough play for the second baseman. Really slowed down for him. 4-3. Nice play by Powell to retire Land to get this one started for the Cavaliers on defense.
Especially because Land is one of the better athletes on the Rebels right now. We've seen how fast he can fly around the bases, so that was a great play on defense by the Cavs.
Thought Powell was going to have to go to the backhand, but the ball really slowed down in the grass behind the pitcher's mound and ended up being able to field it kind of running in and had time to retire Land. That'll bring up Jonathan Lopez. First pitch fouled down the first baseline. Oh, 1 to Lopez is fouled off down the third baseline, undoubtedly chased by a horde of little leaguers. Looked like there were somewhere in the neighborhood of 50 little leaguers out on the field at the start of this one with the Rebels for the national anthem. Swing and a miss, fastball. Lopez goes down swinging. Nice work from Good so far to get this one started.
Center fielder number 13, Mario Jr.
Here's Mario Magana Jr., another switch hitter in the Rebels lineup who has done the majority of his work from the left-handed batter's box, getting a chance to swing it from the right side. Big-time prospect out of Miami, Florida. And he rips that one into left center field for a single. Hard hit ball there for Magana. It was only a few steps to the shortstop's left, but it was scorched.
I'm really excited to see Mario find his groove in this young season. Of course, he was kind of stymied by injury on opening night, but great to see a hit right there.
So Rebels have one on with 2 out for Joe Terranova. Seems to have found a home in the cleanup spot for Newmarket so far here. Rebels lineup is deep and they rotate a lot of players through, but you're starting to see a few guys kind of find their homes where they're going to be the majority of the time. I think Terranova is firmly in that camp. Big swing and a miss at a ball in the dirt. Magana trying to go to second, and he is going to be gunned down. Excellent play by the catcher Burnham there to reel that one in quickly and fire it down to second to end the bottom half of the first inning. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, no runners left on base. Grayson Gregg going to lead it off for the Cavaliers on the other side of this break. And we're back for some more Zach Stitchway here in the top half of the second inning. A bit stormy in Newmarket earlier today, but currently beautiful weather for baseball. Gentle breeze right to left across the field. Gegg leading off for the Cavaliers and fouls the first one back into the screen. Left field Lowndes really hopping out there behind the left field fence, where a lot of the younger families tend to hold out, and there is a full-fledged game going on beyond the fence tonight. Might have 9-on-9 out there.
Expect nothing less on Little League night.
That one's hard hit up the middle, is going to get past Lopez and into center field for a leadoff single for Gegg. Bring up Braden Weaver. Weaver patrolling left tonight for the Cavaliers. That's a last-minute switch. Was originally penciled in right field. Stitchway out of the stretch. Fires fastball in for a called strike. I think the Stitchway family might be in attendance tonight, or at least some of them. I feel like I heard that was coming. Breaking ball, called strike 2.
Mr. Stitchuation.
Yeah, Stitchuation, the YouTube name. Weaver lays off the high fastball, 1-2 now. Rebels have not had the opportunity to welcome Culpeper to Rebel Park very many times, if any, before tonight. That one swung on and missed. Batter's going to be out as first base was occupied. So that'll be strikeout swinging. Gegg does advance on the wild pitch, putting a runner in scoring position with 1 out for the Cavaliers. Culpeper plays in the South Division. Newmarket plays in the North. And haven't been a whole lot of crossover opportunities between the divisions. That one's fouled out of play down the third base line over the last couple years. You know, last year the Rebels traveled to Culpeper. Only see the South Division teams 1 time apiece throughout the season, and half of them are at home, half of them are on the road, so. Oh, and 1 on Pippinger. Hard hit ball to short. Land has it on the backhand. Looks at third. Going to have to throw it across. Not in time. That quick peep at third base is going to cost them. Be a single for Pippinger. Gegg advances to third. So first and third, 1 out.
And that was just Pippinger's 5th at-bat of the season and his first hit.
Ups the batting average 200 points with 1 swing. First pitch to Perriello, sorry. Called strike. Gets some chirping from the Culpeper dugout after that one. That one is fouled off into the yards down the first base line. Just beyond the batting cage. If you're a Culpeper fan and you're not familiar with Rebel Park, it's 322 down both lines, 367 to center, 345 in the right center field gap, and goes way out to 381 in left center. Ball does not carry to center field very well, so that 367 is a bit deceptive. Don't see a whole lot of home runs hit in that general direction. Big swing and a miss. Another wild pitch on the strikeout. going to allow Pippinger to advance to second base. Gag stays put at third. 2 outs, runners on second and third. Noah Burnham, the catcher, who made a really nice play to end the bottom half of the first inning, steps in now. Ditchway pounds the zone. Fastball, strike one. Goes breaking ball and misses low and away. Fastball gets a shake of the head from Burnham, but it's a called strike. So 1-2, and Ditchway is 1 strike away from getting out of the top half of the second with no damage. See if he can put Burnham away. High fastball lifted in the air to right. Terranova should have time to get under it. And he's got it for the third out of the inning. Some traffic on the bases for the Cavaliers, but no damage done. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, 2 runners left on base. We'll be back for the bottom half on the other side. Here is Joe Terranova out of Southeast Missouri State. He made the last inning, or the last out of the previous inning on defense. See if he can do something here on offense. Joe coming all the way from Arizona to play in Newmarket this summer. Off to a solid start through the first quarter or so of the season here. And he's ahead in the count, 2-0. Hitting 270 so far. Lifts that one down the line and left. Don't think they're going to get to it. That is in our blind spot. Ball appeared to have gone all the way to the corner. Terranova looking to stretch it into a triple. Close play. He's safe at third. Looks like it was a diving attempt out in left field by Weaver. Came up short and the ball rolled all the way into the corner. It's a leadoff triple for Terra Nova and the Rebels.
I was actually just looking it up during the break. The Rebels right now in the Valley League are number 1 in extra base hits.
21, Jaden Ariel.
So near the top in extra base hits, near the bottom in home runs. They're getting it done with doubles and triples. Rebel Park tends to not be the friendliest for home runs as far as Valley League parks go. Here is Jaden Harriel for the Rebels. One of 2 players coming out of FAU in tonight's lineup. Lifts that one into medium deep right field. We'll see if Terra Nova is going to try. He is. Throw is strong one, slightly up the line. Gets away from the catcher Burnham on the short hop. That'll be a sacrifice fly for Harriel as Joe Terra Nova comes in to score the first run of the game. First run allowed on the season from Good.
A fielder from Goldie Beacon College. Matt Murphy.
That throw had stayed in the air for about a foot further. Terra Nova may have been in trouble. Real strong throw from Franz out in right field. Brings up Matt Murphy. His second year in Newmarket. Takes the first pitch for a ball. Second one also misses upstairs. 2-0. Rio pitched to Murphy. Called strike on the outside corner.
You talked a little bit earlier about how the Rebels have been shuffling up their lineup a bit, but Matt Murphy, like you said, second-year Rebel, he started the year with a 5-game hitting streak, but since then he's kind of taken a back seat to see as that Rebels rotation.
Lined out to second base. Nice diving catch by Powell. He's had a couple nice plays out there already in this one. So Murphy robbed of a hit on a hard hit line drive. That'll bring up David Pena.
But as I was saying, it might take him just a few more games to get back into that groove that he had at the start of the season.
I think Murphy was maybe a little bit nicked up there for when he was out for a few games. First pitch to Pena, up and away for a ball. I would say David has a calling card so far this season. It is a selective eye, as he has proven to be extremely good at drawing walks. Currently hitting .056 through 18 at-bats, but has drawn 12 walks and 1 hit by pitch, good for a .452 on-base percentage. That one's in for a called strike.
Yep, that keeps him top 5 in the Valley League. Walks.
Culpeper, thus far, by far, allows the fewest walks of any pitching staff. That one just misses. Only 45 walks allowed. Lots of teams in the league up at 70 or 80 already. Been a bit of a wild start for pitchers in the Valley. 2-2 to Pena. Check swing. He's going to get called out on strikes. Home plate umpire doesn't even need help on that one. He goes down swinging to end the bottom half of the second inning, but the Rebels score 1 run on 1 hit. There were no Cavaliers errors and no runners left on base. We'll be back for the top half of the third in just a moment. Lucas Fran's going to lead it off for the Cavaliers in the top half of the third inning. Swing and a miss on a Stitchway fastball. Another fastball swung on and missed. 0-2. Beautiful, beautiful night here in Newmarket. Leaving you on the wide view for just a second here, and you can see Newmarket Gap out in right center field. One of the best backdrops in baseball, at least on the East Coast, in my very biased opinion. If you're logged into YouTube, let us know in the live chat where you're watching from, who you're supporting, whether that be the Cavaliers, Rebels, or individual players. 1-2 slips out of Stitchway's hand and actually goes behind Franz's back. Evens the count 2-2.
Nice reflexes from Lucas there.
We get a little chat interaction going. We'll throw a trivia question or two your way, perhaps, as the evening goes on. That one's low for ball 3. Full count now. Franz, who's leading off for the Cavaliers here. Rebels were in action last night, fell to the Purcellville Cannons 6-2. Rebels currently in second place in the North Division and Purcellville in first. Thanks to what I believe is now a 7-game winning streak. Franz draws the walk, and Nick Matson will get his second trip to the plate tonight with a runner on and nobody out.
That's Lucas's third walk in his last 3 games. Doing a great job of getting on base the last few weeks for the Culpeper Cavaliers.
Matson takes in for ball 1. A lot of times you see that 9-hitter have a pretty good on-base percentage, trying to set the table for the top half of the order when you come back through. Popped foul territory. Doris over, has a chance at the fence, can't come up with it. Frustrated with himself as that one looked like it hit off the top of the fence. Within reach, but just out of play. Would have been a nice catch if he could have come up with it. Hard hit ball to third, just past the diving Pena into left field for a single. Cavaliers have 2 men on with nobody out. And the throw from Murphy, wild, coming back into the infield. Rolls all the way to the Cavaliers dugout.
Like there was a bit of a miscommunication there. It looked like Doris may have not been ready for that throw.
Don't know if that was intended to go to first base or if it was trying to come behind the runner at second. Really kind of a confusing play as only the cutoff man was looking in Murphy's direction. Nobody was straying too far from the bases, so Culpeper with a golden opportunity, and they're going to capitalize on a line drive single into left center field. They're sending the runner. Throw in is cut off. It's going to be a 2 RBI single for Powell. He advances to second on the throw. Matson scores. Fran scores. 2 RBIs for Powell. As of right now, one of those runs will be earned, one unearned. We'll see how the rest of the inning goes to affect that unearned run. Sutrick up now and fouls the first pitch back. Really a pretty bizarre play there. I'm not really sure how to explain exactly what Murphy might have been thinking on that throw. That one's ripped into left field. It's going to be another RBI single. Maybe thinking 2. Strong throw into second. Keeps Sutrick at first. RBI single. And the Cavaliers have pushed 3 runs across without Ditchway being able to record an out here in the top half of the third.
And after the 2 RBIs from Powell and the 1 from Sutrick, they're both sitting at 8 RBI on the season, which is tied on their team for first. So
Oh, 1 fouled straight back into the screen. 0-2. Cavaliers are more towards the bottom of the league in batting average, but getting it done early against Stitchway with some hard hit balls. I think their pitching has largely carried them so far, outside of a few really strong performances. Hard hit ground ball to second. Lopez up with it, goes to short for 1, over to first. That'll be a double play, 4-6-3. So quickly, 2 outs there. Big boost for Stitchway, gives them a chance to limit the damage.
yeah, the Rebels seems like they've been getting unlucky with those balls getting hit right through the gaps, excuse me. Good to see Lopez there to make the play.
Stitchway wanted that one, but doesn't get it. 1-0. Swing and a miss on a nice fastball. Rebels, no strangers to comeback wins. Overcome a couple 5-run deficits already this season here at Rebel Park. That one just misses. 2-1. Nice curve in for a called strike. Like that one started almost right at Weaver, the batter, and then broke back over the plate. Two is fouled back. Grounded back to the pitcher. He's got it, and he's going to underhand it over to Doris at first base for the 1-3 putout. 3 runs on 3 hits, 1 Newmarket error, and no runners left on base. After 2.5, it's Culpeper 3, Newmarket 1. We'll be back for the bottom half in just a moment.
Leading off the Rebels from Ron College. Pitcher number 3, Mario Lopez Jr.
Mario Lopez Jr. going to lead it off for the Rebels in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. Looking to cut into that 2-run deficit, and he hits that one to deep center field. Back at the wall. It's out of here. 2nd home run of the season for the Rebels. 1st for Mario Lopez Jr. And he has just earned himself a free chicken dinner from Southern Kitchen in Newmarket.
Compliment from Southern Virginia. Our home run, hometown hero, Mario Lopez Jr. with a free chicken dinner.
Home run to deep center field, just left of the 367 sign, but it was well over the fence. As Lopez ambushed great and good to get the bottom half of the 3rd inning started here. Going to bring up Gage Doris, the first baseman. That one's in the dirt, 1-0. I think the reverse jinx was in action there, as we just talked about how the Rebels near the top of the league in extra base hits without too many home runs, and Mario Lopez Jr. heard us talking. 2-0 on Doris now. He is the 9-man in the lineup tonight, but no slouch at the plate. He's ahead in the count 3-0. Maddox Land, the leadoff hitter, on deck. That one catches the outside corner for a called strike. And that one's rifled into right field. Doris didn't want the free pass. He will take the single, though. Pretty well hit ball just to the left of the second baseman, Powell, and out into right for, well, I almost said leadoff single, but
Around the shortstop from Pensacola State College. Well,
so Doris on first for Land here. Playing back at third base, holding Doris on at first, of course. Chopped foul. That one misses just inside. Doris, pretty good speed over at first. Got to keep an eye on him. Land, good speed in the batter's box. Should be a hard duo to double up. Unless the ground ball's hit hard right at an infielder. Breaking ball misses low, 2-1.
Just about to say the same thing. The Rebels would love to see Land get on base here. His last 3 games, he does have 3 hits and 5 walks. After a sort of slow start to the season, I think Land has found a groove here.
Takes that one low. Certainly shown a good eye at the plate, as have many Rebels, and then the hits have started to come. A lot of times there's a bit of an adjustment period as players transition to wood bats. Something off speed that catches the inside corner for called strike 2. Full count pitch. Popped into right. Not deep. Right fielder settles under it. Gave a little deke like he couldn't see it, trying to get Doris in trouble over at first. But he does not fall for the ploy. And Land is retired on the F9.
bring up the second baseman from Florida Atlantic University.
He hit the Pete Crow Armstrong right there.
Brandon doing my boy dirty. Lifelong Cubs fan, get with the call tonight. So 1 out, runner on first for Jonathan Lopez. Got a couple Cavaliers fans in the chat. Welcome to Newmarket via the interwebs. Pronunciation check, good rather than good on the pitcher tonight. And let's go Nick Madsen. Duo softly hit ground ball to second. They're going to try to turn 2, go to second, don't get anybody. Throw pops out of the shortstop's glove. Did not look like a horrible throw, so the error is going to go on the shortstop. E6 on the missed catch.
Mario Jr.
Mario Magana Jr. going to get a chance with 2 men on and just 1 out. Hit a rocket into kind of left center field for a single his first at bat. Fouls that one into the Rebel dugout. Mario, one that many of us in Newmarket have been waiting to see him really get into one in a game, because you watch batting practice, it's quite impressive. And I've seen some video clips of him hitting at the Marlins Stadium down in Florida and hitting balls into the upper deck. That one's hit back to the pitcher. He's going to go to third for 1. No chance at anything more than that with Magana's speed. So it'll be a fielder's choice. Lopez advances to second. Doris retired 1-5. Not a play you see every day.
Number 25. No. Aaron.
Joe Terranova gets a chance now with 2 outs, runners on first and second. Good speed out there for the Rebels. That one's popped up to second base for the 3rd out of the inning. Rebels get 1 run on 2 hits. There was 1 Cavaliers error, 2 runners left on base. After 3 complete here in Newmarket, it is Culpeper 3, Newmarket 2. We'll be back for Cole Pippinger and the Cavaliers in the top half of the 4th.
Cavaliers.
Cole Pippinger going to lead off for the Cavaliers in the top of the 4th, holding on to a 1-run lead. Cavaliers fans popping up in the chat. That one's hit into deep center field. Looks like it's not going to be deep enough to be any trouble. Magana able to settle under it for the 1st out of the inning. Off the bat, I thought that one might be a repeat of Mario Lopez Jr. for the Rebels in the previous half inning. Here is Luca Puriello. Yeah, we're Rebels fans outnumbered in the chat 3-1 right now, so got to hop in there if you're a Rebels fan and even the odds a bit for us. First pitch is a ball to Puriello. Fastball swung on and missed. Situate at 38 pitches through 3 1/3. Pretty efficient work so far. Third base coach perhaps a little late getting out there for the Cavaliers as he just ran across. Lights starting to take effect here in Newmarket. Not too dark yet, but lights do take a little while to warm up, and they've kicked on here in the 4th inning.
Fun fact about Pariello, he had a grand slam in his first official collegiate at-bat back when he was with Virginia Tech. A lot of power for these Cavaliers. Looks like
Impressive from multiple facets.
yeah.
Starting his career at a Power 4 and with a Grand Slam. Swing and a miss. Stitchway gets him. Virginia Tech, just a few hours south from Newmarket. Pretty much straight down Interstate 81. Shout out to intern Jack if you're watching. Virginia Tech student who's normally on the call with us here in Newmarket. Called strike. Burnham, the catcher. At bat, 2 outs, nobody on base. That one bounces in 1-1. Ground ball in the hole, diving effort by Land, can't come up with it. It'll be a 2-out single for Noah Burnham. Can't fault the effort out there at shortstop.
Right.
Lucas Franz now with 2 outs. Runner on first. Swinging the dark blue bat, and he grounds it back to Stitchway, who underhand pitches over to first for the 1-3 putout. That'll end the inning. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, 1 runner left on base. After 3.5, it is Cavaliers 3, Rebels 2. We'll be back for Jaden Harriel in the middle of the Rebels lineup on the other side of this break. We're back for the bottom half of the 4th inning. Jaden Harriel leading off. Brayton Good still on the mound for the Cavaliers. Do want to remind you all, especially Rebels parents, that we do have Parents Weekend coming up June 26th through the 28th. Hope to see lots of you here in Newmarket. Ariel fouls the first pitch way over to the right side. Rebels are home twice that weekend and have 1 away game against the county rival, just a little ways up the road. Takes high, 1-1. All right, we got a little bit more banter going in the comments, evening it out. That one's hit hard into center field, but more or less right at the center fielder Matson, who reels it in. Good contact for Ariel on the line out, but wrong place.
The fielder from Holy Beacon College. Matt Murphy.
Left fielder Matt Murphy gets his turn next. Perhaps looking to make something happen after offense after a defensive miscue earlier. Although I don't think that miscue really ended up costing the Rebels. Swing and a miss. Nice breaking ball down and in. That one flared into right field. Soft hit ground ball. That one was hit in the exact right place. And Murphy is aboard with the ground ball single. Almost looked like a golf-like slice.
It really did. Nice to see Murphy get back in the hit column.
Here's David Pena with one on, one out. Another switch hitter in the Rebels lineup. Getting an opportunity to hit right-handed for one of the few times. Pops the first pitch up and a nice running grab going up the first baseline by Burnham. He's made several nice plays behind the plate. We'll say on that one, probably should have let the first baseman handle it.
Both catchers tonight are really hustling and making a lot of good plays.
Not that Burnham didn't reel it in without any question, but it's a lot easier when the ball's coming towards you as opposed to falling away from you, and easier to catch, pop up with a first baseman's mitt than a catcher's mitt. But all's well that ends well for the Cavaliers. Mario Lopez Jr. back in for his second shot against Braden Good. First time up, hit a rocket of a home run to deep center. Takes that one low. Mario, one of the players you really see grinding before and after games, often working out on the field pretty late into the night, last player to leave. Kind of that cliche, first in, last out that you hear a lot about with NFL players. That one misses down and in. 3-0. Good made me thinking, I don't want to mess with him after he hit that long home run.
I talked about it on a previous broadcast, but Mario Lopez Jr., he's spent time with 5 different colleges already and already has over 310 collegiate at-bats. So all that hard work, really, we're seeing it pay off for him in real time.
Kind of the definition of a college journeyman in this modern era of college sports. Some redshirt years mixed in there, obviously. And with 2 men on and 2 out, we're going to get a visit to the mound. Don't believe anybody has really gotten warmed up in the Cavaliers bullpen, so probably just a visit to chat. There is some light tossing going on out there, but no serious throwing as of yet in either bullpen. I think we'll see Stitchway for the 5th for the Rebels. And the visit wraps up after the home plate umpire trots out and says, let's get this thing rolling. So Doris will do battle with Good with 2 outs. Lefty on lefty matchup. Fouled off.
And it was just mentioned it's Gage Doris's birthday today. He's already 1 for 1. Be a nice present to see him go 2 for 2 here. Although I don't want to jinx
Happy birthday
it.
to Gage. We'll have to see if we can get a happy birthday going at the post-game meal. Embarrass him a little bit if he wasn't embarrassed enough by being called out while he was waiting to bat there. Takes that one for a ball, 1-1. First couple innings went by pretty quick here in Newmarket, but things have slowed down in the third and fourth with lots of traffic on the bases. 1-1 pitch was low, 2-1. Cavaliers playing pretty standard depth across the infield, and I would say fairly deep in the outfield, especially in right. 2-1 right down the middle, called strike 2. .50-50 sales underway here at Rebel Park. Long-standing tradition. Doris fouls that one off. Stays alive.
Sure, these little leaguers would love to win some money tonight.
Yeah, who knows? Little leaguer might go home with a couple $100. Might be enough to buy you a nice new glove or bat. Runners dancing. Murphy retreated to second. Meanwhile, pitch comes in, up and in, almost hit him. Full count. That means the runners will be in motion with the next pitch from Good, who is at 36 pitches, but maybe tiring a little bit in his 4th inning of work. That one's grounded, just foul down the third base line. Would have been 2 RBIs and a double for Doris if that one had been a few inches to the right, but it did appear to be foul.
Yeah, that ball was almost placed perfectly. But Gage Doris is really seeing it well today.
Which is especially impressive with the lefty-lefty matchup. Sure, that's why he's down in the 9th place in the order. Been more in the middle of the order most of the time when he's been in the game. He checks his swing on that one, and he's going to head on down to first base. Culpeper threw it. Culpeper threw to first thinking it was a drop third strike, but the check swing appeal comes up empty, so it'll be bases loaded for Maddox Land in his 3rd at-bat of the night off of Good. Looks like Land almost started to set up in the right-handed, or the left-handed hitting batter's box before remembering that he's hitting righty tonight. Rebels have not faced a lot of lefty pitching thus far. First pitch, fouled straight back. Can see that one sitting in a neighboring yard. So tempting, but out of reach for the young foul ball chasers at the ballpark. dotted on the outside corner. Nice fastball for called strike 2. So Land behind in the count. No balls, 2 strikes. All foul balls, yours to keep at Rebel Park. No lollipop or freezy pop exchange here. Fans get to go home with a nice souvenir. Land fouls another one off. So no balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Bases full of Rebels. Brayton Good looking to get out of trouble. He is ahead 0-2. That one dribbled foul over towards Coach Martin at first base. Good up to 44 pitches now. We noted hasn't had any super long appearances in his effective work for the Cavaliers so far, so very well may be tiring here. He gets Maddox Land swinging, foul tip on a high fastball, and he limits the damage to nothing. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, 3 runners left on base for the Rebels. Nick Matson going to lead it off for the Cavaliers in the top half of the 5th. We'll be back with that action in just a few minutes. Nick Matson going to lead off for the Cavaliers in the top half of the 5th. Zach Stitchway still on the mound for the Rebels. First pitch fouled at the plate for strike 1. Some movement in the Rebel bullpen. Don't think anybody's really all the way getting ready, but they're starting to think about it. Swing and a miss on a nice breaking ball. Lots of movement down in the Cavaliers bullpen, so might have seen the end of the night for Brayton Good there. That one's ripped into right center field. Probably going to be extra bases for Matson. That is all the way to the wall. Magana gets it in to hold him at second with a double. Nice piece of hitting by Matson there, down in the count.
And I think I mentioned it earlier, but now it's up to 3 hits for Matson on the season in just his 4th game with appearances at the plate.
So Stitchway finds himself in trouble at the start of the 5th inning here. The runner in scoring position and nobody out. Fires in a fastball, swung on and missed for strike 1. Still has good velocity. Stitchway coming in right around 90 miles an hour on the fastball. Didn't set up our radar gun tonight, so I don't have the exact velocity. Swing and a miss for strike 2. Called strike 3. Stitchway not messing around there. 3-pitch strikeout. We don't see the radar gun. Gonna bring up Johnny Sutrick with 1 out. Runner still in scoring position out at second. That is Nick Matson. Hard hit ground ball just outside of third. Sutrick about a foot away from a RBI double.
I have a feeling Zach might take a different approach to this at-bat. Sutrick on the season already has 3 home runs despite having a batting average on the lower side.
That one bounced in, gets away from Lopez. Kept it kind of in front of him, but it rolled out towards third base, and that's going to allow Matson to move up 90 feet. He'll be at third base with 1 out. One and one on Sutrick. Joe's bunt takes a called strike. Kind of bent his back like, ooh, that looked a little outside. How I interpreted the body language. Behind 1 and 2. Stitchway tries to go a little bit further out and doesn't get the call. 2 and 2. Fights off a tough breaking ball to stay alive. Got action in both bullpens. Two misses up, 3 and 2. Like 24 is up in the Cavalier bullpen. Swing and a miss. Stitchway gets Sutrick on a nice fastball. 2 strikeouts in the inning. And we're going to get a call to the bullpen. Coach Charlie Shepard out to the mound. And he is going to take the ball from Zach Stitchway. Or maybe not. Hasn't made the motion yet. Usually, if Coach Shepard goes out, that does signal a pitching change, but maybe just wants to talk this time. I don't have a Culpeper roster handy to see who 24 is, but I'll pull that up maybe. They are going to stick with Stitchway. Got faked out there. Kind of goes against the typical mode of operation for the Rebels.
Yeah, that was a really nice at bat from Stitchway there. He's very cautious to not let Sutrick take the lead for Culpeper there.
So Gegg gets the at bat against Stitchway. Rebels did have a lefty up in the bullpen, which increased the thought that they might be making a change there, but gonna give Stitchway a chance to get out of this one and could qualify for the win if the Rebels score in the bottom half of the fifth, and he does get out of it. 0-1, fastball high. One. Breaking ball misses down and in. 2-1. Three and one now. Stitchway up to 58 pitches. Another pitcher that is still working on kind of getting stretched out as a starter. So maybe tiring here in the fifth. Catches the outside corner with a backdoor breaking ball. 3-2.
Zach is putting on a great audition for starting role on this team.
Here's his full count pitch. Couldn't have missed by much. That one got Coach Shepard about 6 steps off of his chair over in the third base dugout. Gegg works the 2-out walk. Runners on first and third for Braden Weaver. Still sticking with Stitchway. And if he can work out of this jam. Crispy fastball called strike one.
Sounds like the title of a reality TV show. Sticking with Stitchway.
Sticking with Stitchway. Maybe we'll have to have that as a segment moving forward. Another nice fastball. That one must have just missed. 1-1. Breaking ball gets the ground ball to land at short. He's going to flip it to Lopez at second. Fielder's choice. 6-4 to end the inning. No runs on 1 hit, no errors. Cavaliers leave 2 runners on base. Jonathan Lopez going to lead off for the Rebels in the bottom half of the fifth on the other side of this break. 24. New pitcher for the Cavaliers here in the bottom half of the fifth is Roger Niedermeyer. He's facing Jonathan Lopez, and the first pitch is a ball. Niedermeyer, a right-handed pitcher out of Xavier University. He is behind 2-0 on Jonathan Lopez. Wagana on deck. That one just misses up and away. 3-0 on Lopez. Rebels looking to get the leadoff man on base. Curve finds the zone. Strike one. That curve misses inside. Ball four. Lopez earns the leadoff walk. Something the Rebels have been very good at this year, drawing base on balls.
Number 13, Mario Jr.
Last year for Niedermeyer at Xavier, he had one appearance, faced two batters, and walked two batters. So exactly what Summer League baseball is for a guy like Roger.
Finds the zone with a nice fastball, and he's ahead 0-1. Coming into tonight, Rebels have drawn 89 walks in 11 games. And have also been hit by 22 pitches, so 2 hit by pitches per game. Niedermeyer ahead of Magana 0-2. Lopez conservative lead over at first. Swing and a miss at a pitch that was low and away. Magana goes down swinging for the first out of the inning.
Right fielder from Southeast State, number 25, Joe Terranova.
Joe Terranova now with 1 out. Still a runner on first. This is high. Lopez dancing around a bit at first now, like might be thinking about swiping a bag. Called strike. Had a long discussion the other night with Rebel first base coach Ty Martin about timing, pop times for pitchers and catchers, and putting base stealers in a position to be successful. They're stutter step for Lopez. Meanwhile, Terranova hits a rocket to left field. Wow, what a catch out there and left, diving, going back at the warning track. Put a star beside Braden Weaver's name. One of the nicest outfield catches you'll see this season in the Valley for sure. Out of view of the cameras, unfortunately, but he was running back, almost straight back towards the wall, headlong dive to rob Terranova of extra bases and an RBI, almost certainly. That was a high exit velo line drive. Bad luck for Joe. Jaden Harriel up now, takes a called strike. Lopez during that previous at bat was looking like he was going to steal and even kind of took off and then stopped. So keep an eye on that still. This is low and in.
Going back to that play by Weaver, I mentioned earlier how he's a player for this Culpeper team who hasn't gotten many at-bats, but That's another way to make a name for yourself, making plays like that. Not just for your coach now, but for collegiate coaches
There goes
down the line.
Lopez. Curveball called strike. Lopez has that one stolen. Stolen base for Lopez. Really no chance for Burnham behind the plate. Big jump. So Harriel behind 1-2, but has a chance now with a runner in scoring position to drive in the tying run. That curve misses low and away. It will likely be Ben McIntyre coming in to pitch for the Rebels in the 6th inning. That one misses outside, 3-2. Matt Murphy, the left fielder, waiting on deck. Already has 2 hits tonight. Comes at him with a fastball, and Harriel fights it off.
Harriel just had a big game against Percival, driving in runs with 4 RBI. Unfortunately, the Rebels couldn't pull that one out, though.
Definitely shown some good pop early in the year. Chopper on the left, off the third baseman's glove. Going to be an E5. It was a chopper to Perriello at third. Got to it on the kind of the back end of a big hop and kicked off of his glove. That one's, he's going to get another chance on a similar play, but this one's just foul from Murphy. Oh, 1. Fouled back. Feels like there's been a lot of foul balls tonight. So 0-2 on Murphy. Runners on first and second. Check swing and a high fastball didn't go. Say check swing. It was more of a flinch than a real swing attempt. Lines it into center. It's going to be down for a hit. Lopez coming around to score. Throw is cut off. Back throw to second. Harriel kind of an awkward slide back in, but he is in safely. Matt Murphy has himself an RBI single to tie this one up. That's going to prompt a visit out to the mound by Burnham, the catcher. There's some 2-out damage here in the bottom of the 5th for the Rebels. That's going to take Zach Stitchway off the hook as far as the decision goes, unless the Rebels score another run here, in which case he could be in line for a win.
Third baseman.
That is, of course, assuming he does not come back out for the 6th, which, in my opinion, is unlikely, but we'll see. David Pena now for the Rebels with a chance to put them out in front. interesting for Pena here, batting right-handed against the right-handed pitcher Niedermeyer. He is a switch hitter, but hasn't had a lot of luck from the left side, so maybe just deciding he's feeling better on the right-hand side of the swing. Takes that one 0-2. Run, check swing. Gonna be a swinging strike 3, 2-3 on the putout. Rebels score 1 run on 1 hit. There was 1 Culpeper error and 2 runners left on base. Culpeper going to lead off in the top half of the 6th against New Rebels pitcher Ben McIntyre. We'll be with you for that action in just a moment. Culpeper leading off for the Cavaliers. As we mentioned on the other side, Ben McIntyre, left-handed pitcher out of Embry-Riddle, in for the Rebels. Ben off to a solid start in Newmarket. Left-hander coming in right around 90 miles an hour. That one's fouled off.
And Andrew, I don't think you'll find a more energetic pitcher in all of the Valley League. When Ben McIntyre comes in for his 2 to 3 innings, he's going to make a statement every time. He's always very energetic with his celebrations and things like that.
That one misses low. Only damage he's given up so far this year was another one similar to Stitchway, where he was in an extended outing and kind of ran out of gas and got hit a little bit at the end of an outing. Has otherwise been shut down. Started that outing where the damage was done with getting out of a jam by striking out the first 2 hitters he faced on 6 pitches. And then I think it was in his 3rd inning of work, got into some trouble. 3-1 now. Check swing. No appeal. So 5-pitch walk for Pippinger to start 6th inning against McIntyre. Now, we talked at the opening about how the Cavaliers have played a lot of close games, and it looks like we're going to get another one tonight as we are knotted at 3 in the 6th. McIntyre fires a fastball past Puriello. Turns him around on that fastball that catches the inside corner, and McIntyre's ahead 0-2. Puriello kind of turned his left shoulder in like he was thinking it might even clip him, but it's called strike. Runner going. Fouled off, which is lucky for the Rebels as Pippinger had that one stolen, I believe. Big jump off of first. Stays 0-2. McIntyre paying closer attention over at first. Delivers. Gets past Lopez. Was a little bit low, but probably should have been handled. That'll be a pass ball. Hard to tell on some of those. Could have been crossed up or something that resulted in that, but it was off the glove cleanly. McIntyre still had 1 and 2. Now a runner in scoring position. Breaking ball gets him on the check swing. No appeal on that one either. Home plate umpire took care of business himself. That'll bring up Noah Burnham. Burnham has had an eventful night. Lots of great defensive work. Fastball called strike 1.
And that strikeout is good for McIntyre's 12th on the season, which puts him at 3rd on the Newmarket Rebels roster.
How many innings pitched?
Just about 8 now.
So about a strikeout and a half per inning for McIntyre, which kind of checks out. He's got good stuff. Called strike. Ben was kind of advertised as a lefty specialist that could really be tough at bat for left-handers, but has proven to be much more than that, just an all-around effective pitcher for the Rebels. Runner was dancing around at second, ultimately did not go, and the pitch misses outside. Strong crowd hanging in there. Haven't had many people leave tonight. Pretty good pace of play. Runner is going. Fastball low. Tough pitch for Lopez to handle. It'll be ball 3 and a stolen base for Pippinger. Fastball was kind of bounced in there.
A little too low for Lopez.
So Pippinger, showing the speed, has put himself 90 feet away from scoring. Full count on Burnham at the plate. That fastball misses inside. Be runners at the corners with 1 out. For Lucas Franz. McIntyre down on his knee behind the mound. Not sure if there was an injury or what exactly happened, but pitching coach is out, trainer is out. Action in the bullpen. Just based on the body language and what's going on here, don't think likely that McIntyre is going to stay in there. But we'll see. Oh, actually possible that it was a contact. Something was run out to McIntyre there. I'm not sure. Looked like it could have been a contact case or something along those lines. Bat Boy is now bringing him out a glass of water.
After watching the replay, it looked like he may have almost gotten the wind knocked out of him after he came out of his windup. It looked like he gave a little gas.
I
Luckily-
was also thinking it's possible it could have been an inhaler that they
Yeah.
ran out. Allergies or something.
Luckily, it didn't look like anything with his cleats, slipping on the mound there. It looked like he just kind of finished his windup and then had to take a seat for a second.
Looks like he's going to be good to go. Definitely concerned there for a moment how quickly everybody converged to help him out. Not sure what happened, but seems like good news. Lucas Franz shows bunt, stabs at it, comes up empty, and McIntyre's ahead 0-1. Culpeper with runners on the corners. 1 out as we're playing in the top half of the 6th. Pena playing in at third, Doris holding the runner at first. Infield playing back. Called strike on another, at least shown bunt. Still action in the Rebels bullpen. It is a right-handed pitcher. 0-2. Tries a backdoor pitch and just misses.
Franz is another native of Arizona, hailing from Phoenix. He's listed on the Cavaliers roster as a catcher, but playing in the outfield tonight. So
That one missed up and in, 2-2. Shuffling people around to get some guys at bats. Seen that a good bit for Newmarket as well, with right fielder getting some action in the corner outfield spots. Swing and a miss on the check swing. Franz goes down. 2 outs. And Nick Madsen got the powder blue or sky blue helmet. Complements well with the yellow top of Culpeper. Shout out to Brandon over here doing double duty tonight with color commentary and camera angles and producing. Guess we're both doing double duty. Got the live scoreboard and official scoring, and he's got commentary and the producer role.
never have too much on your plate.
Meanwhile, 1-1 on Madsen. McIntyre looking to get out of trouble. Madsen looking to put the Cavaliers ahead. Doris had to take a leap to catch that pickoff throw. Got some oohs and ahs from the crowd. Ground ball out to Land at short. Nice pick on the short hop in the hole. Flips it to Lopez at second to get out of the inning. There's another one you can put a star by in your scorebook if you're keeping score. Fielder's choice, 6-4. McIntyre gets out of the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. 2 runners left on base. Mario Lopez Jr. leads off in the bottom half of the 6th for the Rebels on the other side of this brief break.
Pitcher from Rollins College, Mario Jr.
Mario Lopez Jr. going to lead off for the Rebels in the bottom of the 6th. Hits that one to deep right center. This one's not going to quite have the juice to clear the wall. Bronton's able to get under it. Gave it a ride. Came up just short of the warning track in the opposite field.
Let's give it up for our bat boy, great class tonight.
Niedermeyer still out there for the Cavaliers.
Gage Doris.
His second inning of work. Doris at the plate now. Takes a ball. And called strike. I want to reiterate what a nice play by Land out at shortstop to end the top half of the inning. He ranged up the middle, fielded the ball on a short hop, and then I think glove flip to second, just get the runner. Been a couple web gym caliber plays. One of my bucket list goals for the Rebels is to get a nice enough camera angle someday to get on Sports Center.
That would be
to get a Rebels highlight or a Valley League highlight onto Sports Center. That one bounced in 2-2. Don't think our camera quality is quite there yet, but maybe someday. A little tough shooting through a net too.
I'm sure they've accepted worse.
I think it just ups the caliber of play you need. It has to be something truly crazy if the quality is not as good. 2-2 to Doris. This is inside. 3-2. Rebels looking for a 1-out runner here in the bottom of the 6th. Ground ball up the middle, diving stop, double clutch, and throw is not going to be in time. I don't think Pippinger would have had a chance even with a clean pop up and throw. He didn't make a great effort just to knock the ball down, but the double clutch took away any chance of Doris at first, and I don't think even, like I said, if he just popped up and fired, he would have been able to get him. Here is Land that we were just talking about with the defensive highlight. He hits a ground ball to second. They're going to try to turn through two. They will get the lead runner, Doris, but no chance to turn the double play. Fielder's choice, 4-6, get Doris. Jonathan Lopez will be the next batter for the Rebels.
Jonathan Lopez.
Lopez off to a good start here in Newmarket, hitting right around 300. Land in motion, ball is ripped into the right field corner, might get all the way to the wall. Nice play to cut it off out there. It's going to hold Lopez to a single, and he is thrown out at second, trying to stretch it into a double. Thought it was going to go all the way to the wall. Franz made a sliding stop, turned up and fired a strike into second. So it will be a single for Lopez, but he is going to be out 9-6. No runs on 2 hits, no errors, 1 runner left on base. Ty Powell will lead it off for the Cavaliers in the top half of the 7th. The other side of this break. Ty Powell going to lead off for the Cavaliers. Newmarket pitcher, number 18, Aiden Jacobs, out of Northeast Mississippi. Bunt attempt, going to go foul down the third baseline.
Last year at Northeast Mississippi, Jacobs started in 6 games, Pitched in 29 and 2/3 innings and had 20 strikeouts.
Had a pretty effective start here with the Rebels. Hard throwing right-hander. I believe he was a D1 commit coming out of high school, and then something didn't work out, and he ended up at a junior college. Ground ball up the middle, gets past Jacobs. Lopez able to field it. Nice throw, running away from first base, but not in time. Powell able to beat that one out for an infield single. So the leadoff man is aboard for the Cavaliers. Johnny Sutrick at the plate. Powell on first would be the go-ahead run as we are tied at 3 in the top of the 7th. Breaking ball misses low. Still a good crowd here, but I wouldn't say that there's much buzz. It feels a little flat.
I think those little leaguers are starting to drift off a little bit.
9:30 Eastern time. Not a school night as we're well into summer break, but could be getting a little bit late for the little fellers and little gals. Swing and a miss, 1-1. Saw a fair number of the little ladies out on the field. Multiple little leagues were represented. Runner going, check swing, foul ball works in the Rebels' favor as Powell had a pretty big jump at first. Not sure. Maybe they're saying that hit him. Nope, they're sending him back to the plate. Home plate umpire, I guess, ruled a hit by a pitch. He is overruled by the first base umpire who calls the swing. So the swing would overrule the hit by pitch in that case. Don't see that super often. I can recall at least one instance in the major leagues. I'm sure it happens more often than you'd think, where a check swing on a breaking ball that comes in on a opposite-handed hitter.
It definitely looked like that ball ricocheted off a bat first. I hope Sutrick isn't too shaken up here. It looks like it may have hit him either on the thigh or on his elbow.
Got the elbow pad, which if it clipped that could make sense as far as the noise that we heard, which sounded like a foul ball. He's going to go down swinging. Probably was a little bit off kilter there after expecting to be headed to first and then called back to the batter's box. Had a couple bizarre plays this year already here in Newmarket, and I'll add that one to the list. We had a catcher's interference late in the game that was on a ball that was hit into play, and everybody stopped moving. And we all learned that you can take the result of the play over the catcher's interference, which is what the Rebels did and ultimately led to the winning run in that game. So if a batted ball is put in play, even with catcher's interference, if you're on defense, you want to go ahead and complete the play and force the single base. 0-1 on Gegg, left-handed hitter. Fouls it off. There's a left-handed pitcher up in the Cavaliers bullpen. And a lefty up in the Rebels bullpen as well. So double-barreled lefty action in the bullpens. Oh, 2. Called strike 3 on the outside corner. Nice breaking ball there. Kind of a nonchalant call from the home plate umpire. I don't wonder if he even forgot there were 2 strikes, because he just gave his typical strike call instead of the out call. Braden Weaver next up. 2 outs, runner on first. Top of the 7th. We're all tied at 3. Also knotted up in the hit columns with 8 hit apiece.
Like Jacobs had a big sigh of relief there after getting that strikeout, which is his 8th on the season so far. Nearly top 5 for the Rebels.
Runner going, has a big jump. Strong throw, not going to be in time. That one was stolen on the pitcher, Jacobs. Couldn't have asked much more from Mario Lopez there. Strong throw down to second, but really had no chance. One, weak ground ball to first. Doris has it. He's going to pitch to Jacobs at the bag. 3-1 for the out. No runs on 1 hit, no errors. 1 runner left on base. Mario Magana going to lead it off for the Rebels in the bottom half of the 7th. On the other side of the 7th inning stretch. On the pitch. And we're a bit late getting back from the break there. New pitcher, Jonathan Fernandez Andrew, gives up an infield single to Mario Magana. So the Rebels have the leadoff man aboard here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. Fernandez Andrew is a left-handed pitcher. So he flipped Magana around, who hit one in the hole. Shortstop fielded it deep on the backhand, could not throw it across in time. That brings up Joe Terranova, who takes the first pitch up for a ball. Nice curve in for a called strike. Came in right around 70 miles an hour, but had a lot of movement. Another big curve. This one's ripped foul down towards the pavilion. Not familiar with Rebel Park. There is a large pavilion about 80% of the way down the left field line, just out of play. A lot of folks choose to take in the game from down there, and that's where the Rebels post-game meal takes place. Terranova swinging a miss at a high fastball. He goes down swinging for the first out of the inning. Going to bring up David Pena, the third baseman. Magana is going to take off for second. Ball gets out of play. Pitcher threw over to first. Ball goes out of play, and they have ruled that he will stay put at second. Magana was in motion. We'll just give him the stolen base, advances to second. Bit of an odd play there. No error. Flashed an error on the scoreboard, but we're going to take that down as there was no advancement other than the runner already being in motion. Ariel at the plate takes a curve for a called strike. Good speed from Magana out at second. I think he has a video on his Instagram running a 6.160, which is pretty elite. Straight line speed. He's coming off of a hamstring tweak from the first game this season, so maybe not quite at that speed right now, but he was moving on the stolen base attempt there.
Will definitely be a luxury for the Rebels when he gets his legs back under him.
Pretty good speed up and down the lineup, but could be top speed there in Magana. Hernandez, Andrew did not quite get on top of that curve and left it up for a ball. Same result there, 3-1.
Yeah, Fernandez Andrew is another pitcher that's looking to gain a lot of experience in this summer league. Over his past 2 collegiate seasons, he's only had 8 appearances.
That one's hit hard into center. It's going to be right at the center fielder. Rebels have had a few of those tonight that were well struck, but just not hit in the right place.
Seems like both teams have been making great contact tonight. I mean, it's been a theme throughout the broadcast talking about these players getting adjusted to the wooden bats. I think we're starting to see a lot more barrels on the ball after the players have gotten accustomed to their new living situations, being here for a couple weeks now.
I agree. The quality of contact for both teams I can't speak for the Cavaliers over the course of the season, but certainly for Newmarket has gotten better, and tonight quality of contact has been strong for both teams. Cavaliers sitting at 8 hits, Rebels at 9. Matt Murphy at the plate. Magana at second. Murphy with a chance to drive in the go-ahead run. Softly hit ground ball to second. Scooped. Flip to first. 4-3. Put out will end the bottom half of the 7th for the Rebels. No runs on 1 hit. There were no errors and 1 runner left on base. Cole Pippinger Going to lead it off for the Cavaliers in the top of the 8th. Aiden Jacobs going to hand the ball off to one of his college teammates, MJ Paramore, to get things started here in the 8th. Tall left-handed pitcher, fairly freshly arrived to Newmarket, but I believe getting his second appearance. Jacobs went 1 inning, no runs, 1 hit. First pitch to Pippinger was a ball, and looks like Lopez may have been crossed up as the umpire walks out with him to confer. No visit charged. Fastball in right around 89 miles an hour, misses low. 2-0 on Pippinger, who we've already seen has good speed. Rebels do not want him on the base paths representing the go-ahead run. That one's flared into right. Going to be a tough play for Terranova over towards the line. He is able to get to it. Actually made it look fairly routine. Kind of hung up longer than I expected. So F9 for Pippinger to start things off. Fairly deep, probably traveled about 280 feet right down the line. Terranova has gotten a lot of work out in right field for the Rebels. And also got some outfield work for Southeast Missouri State, despite being listed as an infielder there and here. Played a lot of second base. But the at-bats are available in the outfield, so to the outfield he has gone. One zero fouled off. Still knotted at 3, playing in the top of the 8th. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Furiello at the plate, who is now ahead 2-1 after that one misses down and in. That one bounced in, 3-1. May have kicked up some dirt, gotten in the umpire's eye or something as he's walking it off. Lopez Jr. out for a quick chat to give him a chance to recover at the plate. That catcher umpire courtesy.
Yeah, I mentioned earlier that Luca Perriello transferred from Virginia Tech, where he spent his freshman year as a Hokie. Last year he was at Mercer University. Unfortunately, only was able to play in 8 games with 7 at-bats. So another player looking for a lot of experience here.
3-1, chopped to third. Oh, called a foul ball in the box. Must have been off of Perriello's leg. He does wear the shin guard on the front leg. Often a sign that hitters tend to hit in that general vicinity. Tell you from experience, not fun to foul one off the inside of your ankle. You do not have the guard on down there. Full count pitch from Paramore. Up and away. Gonna put the go-ahead run on first with 1 out. Caleb Short, the righty from Louisiana Tech, is up in the Rebel bullpen. Kind of acted as the closer so far this year, although there haven't been a whole lot of save opportunities. One line drive over the second baseman into right field. Runners had to pause, or runner had to pause. So Perriello only moves up 90. Runner on first and second. 1 out. Lucas Franz at the plate. Runner in scoring position, also a runner on first. Takes a fastball outside. Like Paramore working right in that 88, 89 mile per hour range on his fastball. This is outside 2-0. Conservative leads on the bases. Good play in the Rebels' favor on a ground ball. Not holding the runner at first. Outside again, 3-0. Paramore's got to find the strike zone here or the bases will be loaded. Short, most likely ready to roll if he's needed. That one misses inside. That is going to prompt a visit. And a pitching change for Newmarket. So Caleb Short going to come in with the bases loaded and 1 out and work, see if he can get out of trouble. We'll take a quick break and be back with that action on the other side. We're back, and it is Caleb Short on the mound for the Rebels. High leverage situation with the bases loaded. 1 out in a tie game, playing in the top of the 8th. Rebels are playing in on the corners, double play depth up the middle. First pitch. This is just high for a ball. Short, hard throwing right-handed pitcher from Louisiana Tech. No stranger to these high pressure moments for the Rebels. He has been thrown into the thick of it in the early season. 1-0 just misses. 2-0. He's got to be in the zone here. Cannot afford a walk with the bases loaded. Two-0 pitch. Fouled back. Two one, bases loaded. Fastball, called strike 2. Short coming in right around 90 miles an hour, maybe 91. That one was 89 on our little booth radar gun, which is usually a tick or two slow. 2-2. Nice breaking ball, doesn't get the call. That gets some oohs and ahs from the crowd. Started it at the batter, broke it back towards the plate. So it'll be a full count, bases loaded, 1 out. Chopped at the plate. Lopez out to get it. Oh, collision between Pena and Lopez. Gonna be a single. Basically a perfectly placed bunt, even on the swing. Short did the work, but got unlucky on the weak dribbler down the third baseline. So bases remain loaded. Ty Powell now at the plate. Cavaliers have taken a 1-run lead. Swing and a miss. Really, I think the only way the Rebels would have had a play on that is if Lopez had stayed put at home plate and the pitcher had fielded the ball. Even then, not sure, but that's probably the only chance they would have had. So 0-1.
Yeah, sort of an unorthodox hit to drive in a run there, but Caleb Short has proven throughout the season that he really doesn't let those runs get to his head. He's got a short memory.
That run will be charged to Paramore. Fastball swung on and missed, 0-2.
Shout out to our partner Jack. He's got the Short here has the memory of a goldfish. Happiest animal on earth.
0-2. Bases loaded. Swing and a miss. High outside heater gets Powell. It'll bring up Johnny Sutrick. 2 outs now. Bases still loaded. That'll back the infield up all the way around. Corners had been playing in, and middle infield had been playing about halfway in. Big swing and a miss. 0-1. Short shook off a couple pitches before settling on what he's going to throw, and here it is. Goes with the breaking ball, misses outside. Goes back to the fastball and blows it past him. On the outside part of the plate, 1-2, and Short is 1 strike away from getting out of bases loaded jam with only allowing 1 run. Working out of the stretch. High fastball, swung on and missed. Short does everything you could ask, getting a weak ground ball and 2 strikeouts, but the damage was done before he entered the game. 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, 3 runners left for the Cavaliers. After 7.5, it is Cavaliers 4, Rebels 3.
from Indian River State College. Third baseman number 16, David Pena.
David Pena leading off for the Rebels in the bottom of the 8th, trailing by 1. Rebels could use some base runners. Takes the first pitch inside for a ball. We've mentioned several times tonight, Pena excellent at getting on base. Still looking to wake up the stick a little bit here in the early season. Flares that one. Takes an awkward hop at first, trying to beat it out. Safe. Home plate or first base umpire says the throw pulled him off the bag. It was hard to tell from here. There was a bit of a double tap. The pitcher tried to reach back and touch the base again, and I think that may have fooled the umpire into thinking he didn't get it the first time. Bit of an odd play there, but Pena is on.
Catcher Mario Lopez Jr.
Lopez Jr. shows bunt, tried to pull it back. Looks like it was called a strike.
As Junior has to keep him honest here with all the barrels he's been putting down today.
Foul at the plate, must have caught him in the foot. Oh and 2, which means Lopez Jr. will be swinging away. Did have a pinch runner over at first base, which we failed to mention. Zach Banks getting into the game, speedy outfielder. That one skied on the infield. Shortstop is going to settle under it for the first out. Gage Doris in for the lefty-lefty matchup with Fernandez Andrew. See if Banks decides to run here. He is running. Throws on the... He is called out at second. Throw was on the third base side of the bag, but beat the runner. The Rebels have kind of failed at small ball here. Couldn't get the bunt down and then caught stealing. So the bases are now empty for Doris. Burnham looked great behind the plate all night, already nailed one runner. That throw wasn't quite as sharp, but still had enough velocity that middle infielder had plenty of time to get the tag down. One to Doris, called strike 1 and 2. Inning had a promising start for the Rebels, but seems to have fizzled as they're down to their last strike in the 8th. Fastball misses high, 2-2. Maddox Land waiting on deck. Curve misses just outside, 3-2. Doris looking to get something started with 2 outs. Rebels trailing by 1 in the 8th. Curve is just outside. Didn't miss by much, but Doris is going to trot on down to first base with a walk.
That was just amazing discipline by Doris there to get back in it after the getting down 1-2 in the count early on.
Pensacola State College.
Caught.
12,
Doris has had an excellent night getting tongue-tied here late. Excellent night at the plate on his birthday. He's got a big lead at first. See if he thinks about stealing. First pitch to Land, low for a ball, and we've got timeout called. By the pitcher. They have had a brief issue with some glasses or something out there. High pitch called a strike, 1-1. Land 0 for 4 on the night. He's due for something good here. Check swing called strike. Say objectively, the strike zone has gotten a little bigger as the night went on. Pretty tight early. Swing and a miss. Land comes up empty. No runs, no hits, 1 error, 1 runner left on base. Grayson Gegg going to lead it off for the Cavaliers in the top of the 9th. Grayson Gegg at the plate. Caleb Short still on the mound. Swing and a miss.
Grayson Gegg is another player attending Mercer University. spent the last 2 seasons there, and he's seen limited action at the plate. But last year he did have a game against Florida State where he went 2 for 2 with 1 RBI.
Oh and 2 now on Gig. Noticed that the pitching change hadn't registered on for the Rebels last inning, so had to get that fixed real quick. 0-2 is fouled off. Brief interruption. It looked like a ball maybe got in play down the left field line from the bullpen. Or perhaps one of the little leaguers that was playing out there let one fly a little too hard. Oh, 2 is down and away. Ooh, Lopez pops up, starts the third of third, but doesn't get the call. 2-2. 2 consecutive close pitches do not go Short's way out on the mound. And he draws the walk to get the inning started. Short around the plate, but not close enough. Leadoff man is on for Culpeper, looking for some insurance runs. Here in the top of the ninth. Competitive game, 4-3 lead for Culpeper, 10 hits apiece. 2 errors for the Cavaliers, 1 error for the Rebels. First pitch to Braden Weaver, fouled back. Goes to the breaking ball and misses outside. Rebel crowd still hanging in there as we are approaching 3 hours of game time. 1-1 fastball finds the zone, 1-2. Thinned out a little bit, but I would still say at least half full on the home side. Maybe a generous 3/4.
A very locked in crowd right now.
High heater fouled off. Nice job by Weaver to stay alive. Good pitch by Short. Gonna give Short 91 on that fastball. One, two. Goes to the breaking ball and gets the swing and a miss on a pitch in the dirt. Had him fooled. It's the I'm loving it from the PA announcer. That'll bring up number 11, Cole Pippinger. Pippinger 1 for 3 tonight, also has a walk. Good speed, could be hard to double up. Fastball swung on and missed. No shortage of velocity there. The common theme in the bullpen for the Rebels, lots of velocity, lots of strikeouts, also comes with some walk risk.
I think that especially goes for a guy like Caleb Short. I think teams in the Valley League are starting to key in on when he comes in late in the game, he's going to be one of the more aggressive arms, and that's led to a couple of hacks in this inning early on.
That high heater misses for ball 2. There is action in the Rebel bullpen. Should they need it. Pitch misses low, 3-1. And he misses again, ball 4. So Culpeper, 2 runners on via the walk. And Short is up to 36 pitches here. Rebels are off tomorrow, so they can afford to be aggressive with the bullpen usage.
And that's just Caleb's 3rd walk of the season so far. As I said, he's one of the more aggressive arms.
That one's hit deep to center. Magana back on it. It is off the base of the wall. Gonna score 1. It'll be an RBI double for Puriello. As Pippinger comes all the way around to score, Gegg scores. Pippinger held up at 3rd. Had to wait and see if Magana was going to be able to reel that one in. He was a little uncertain as he was getting onto the warning track there. Didn't want to plow into the hard fence out in center. That is going to prompt a visit from pitching coach Mark Davis out to talk with Caleb Short. Conference is over. Noah Burnham, the catcher, had an excellent night behind the plate.
Burnham spent his freshman season last year with, Belmont University, where he was batting .211 with 8 hits, 2 doubles.
Already has 2 hits tonight. Takes the first pitch for a called strike. Rebels would like to keep the deficit at 2, give themselves a fighting chance in the 9th. That one's lifted into shallow right field. Might be trouble. Terranova can't get to it. It's going to fall for a hit and score a run. Throw comes into the plate. And the lead has ballooned to 3. Just wasn't a hard hit ball, but was hit in a good plot out and right. Falls for an RBI single for Burnham. Lucas Franz now with runners on 1st and 3rd, 1 out. Fouls it back. Hit hard on the ground, foul outside of 1st, 0-2. Like Camden Rogers throwing in the Rebel bullpen. O2 breaking ball misses away, 1-2. Rogers is a hard throwing righty out of Southern Miss.
I don't know if I mentioned it already, but Lucas, it took him a little bit this season to find his bat. He didn't play in the first 3 games, and once he started, it took him a while to get his first hit. But in his last 2 games, he has 3 hits and 4 RBI.
Short up to 39 pitches in his second inning of work. Good breaking ball, but Franz holds off. Two. Runners on first and third, 1 out. Runner bluffs and goes back to first. Pitch misses for a ball. Full count. Runners on the corners. Fastball, foul tip, secured by Lopez. That'll be a strikeout for the second out of the inning. And it is going to get a mound visit. For the Rebels. And a pitching change is incoming. We'll take a quick break. Be back on the other side. Nick Matson going to face off against new Rebel pitcher Camden Rogers. Fastball fouled at the plate. This is inside, 1-1. Rogers, a redshirt freshman from Southern Miss, team that played in the regional round of the postseason. I believe was a seeded team this year. High 2-1. Has struggled with his command a little bit in some outings earlier this year. Runner going. Throw down. Throw to third. Stolen base at second. Safe at third. And a 3-1 count at the plate. Strong throw to second by Lopez, but the runner had a big jump. The second and third with 2 outs. Fastball called strike. Matson started to head down to first, but looked pretty good from up here.
He looked like he was about to moonwalk back to home plate.
High heater fouled back.
And Matson's really making a statement for himself tonight. I believe I mentioned earlier how he came into this game with 1 hit in 14 at bats so far this season, but tonight he's 3 for 5.
That'll help the early batting average. Full count pitch. Swing and a miss. Rogers gets out of trouble. But not before the Cavaliers scored 2 runs on 2 hits. There were no Newmarket errors. 2 runners left on base. Jonathan Lopez, Mario Magana, and Joe Terranova due up for the Rebels in the bottom half of the 9th inning. They will need 3 to keep this one going.
Jonathan Lopez.
New pitcher for the Cavaliers, Richie Preston, comes into the game with a 0.00 ERA. In 3 1/3 innings pitched, has allowed 4 hits. His first pitch misses high for a ball. A situation where if you're a Newmarket fan, you just need base runners because you got to score 3 for anything good to happen. This is high 2-0. Rebels would gladly take a walk. Ripped foul off the roof of the pavilion. I could hear the crash. Lopez did not get cheated on that swing. He is 1 for 3 tonight with a walk. Takes high. 3-1. Check swing on a high fastball. Perhaps generous to call it a check as he went about 95% of the way through his swing before trying to stop. So full count on the leadoff man, Lopez. Takes close pitch, called a ball. Rebels get the leadoff man on. That's just what the doctor called for. Mario Magana, next man up. He's been on a couple times tonight.
Center fielder number 13.
A great at bat for Lopez here.
Junior.
He's become another one of the walk machines on this Rebels roster.
Magana at the plate, 2 for 4. Big swing and a miss. Aggressive hitter. Gets up there, ready to take his hacks.
He always, every time he's up there, he looks like he wants to put a ball over those mountains.
Hard hit into deep left. Runner turns his head. It's going to be off the wall. That's just a showcase of the power from Magana. Goes opposite field, 370 off the wall on a ball that honestly didn't look like he got all of it. He's 3 for 5 on the night. Rebels have first 2 men on.
Right fielder from Southeast State. 5, Joe Terranova.
Gonna get a mound visit as Joe Terranova steps in, representing the tying run all of a sudden.
The deep hit was right on cue. I mean, we've been talking about his power all night, but to be able to get a hit like that in such a crucial spot is very valuable for the Rebels here.
Kind of looked like he just flicked it, and it still went 370 to the opposite field. Off the wall, on the fly. You could tell it kind of deceived the left fielder. Initially kind of drifted back and then had to turn and full-on sprint to the wall. The Rebels are going to get 3 cracks at it to tie the game here. Need a long ball. Already have one tonight. Preston, walk, and then a long double. Start his night on the mound, and there is going to be action in the bullpen for the Cavaliers. First pitch is a ball. Time to be conservative if you're a Rebel base runner. Batter at the plate or somebody that's coming after him has to score as well, so no reason to make an aggressive out on the base pass. Inside, but called strike, 1-1. Swing and a miss at a high fastball. Like Terranova was trying to tie it up on that one.
Richie Preston last saw action for Salem University in 2025, where he pitched 26 innings and put up a 5.19 ERA, also recording 4 saves.
So closer experience. This is a save opportunity. This is outside with a breaking ball, 2-2. Jaden Harrell on deck, also a power hitter. Foul tip, dropped at the plate. Burnham almost came up with that one. Looked like maybe it popped out of his glove, tried to grab it with the bare hand, and it trickled down to the ground, so Terranova stays alive. 2-2. Runners on second and third, nobody out. Bottom of the ninth. Rebels trail by 3. Terranova represents the tying run. Fouls a fastball off. Preston on our gun coming in the upper 80s, 87, 88. Another 2-2. Outside. 3-2. Good at bat by Terranova. He's fouled off 2 with 2 strikes. And worked the count full. Hard hit ball, big bounce into left field. Gonna score one. RBI single for Terra Nova. Rebels have no quit tonight. Magana to third. Lopez scores, cuts the deficit to 2. Terra Nova, the tying run at first. Harriel, the potential winning run at the plate.
Terra Nova has proven time and time again this season that he's one of the players that you want at the plate for the Rebels in a clutch situation.
Ariel, big swing and a miss at a fastball that was over the plate. I think we've seen Terra Nova run a whole lot, but he's got an aggressive lead and it could be a big stolen base opportunity. Burnham behind the plate, 2 for 2 on gunning down Rebel would-be base stealers. Have to be opportunistic if you're Terra Nova. 0-1 in the dirt. Good play to keep it in front by Burnham. Matt Murphy on deck. One, swing and a miss. 1-2. Bit of an awkward swing or not full commitment there from Harriel.
Bit of a sword.
1-2 now. Swing and a miss, fastball gets him. First out of the inning. Matt Murphy at the plate. Tying run at first. 1 out. Double play would now end the game for the Cavaliers. First pitch fouled. Second pitch also fouled off out of play. 0-2 on Murphy. He's 2 for 4 tonight, does have an RBI. Grayson Godby on deck, entered as a defensive replacement after the pinch runner fouled back almost in the same spot. Oh, 0-2 on Murphy. Big chance. Make something happen. That one deep and out of play down the first baseline. A lot of room over in right field, but that one well foul. Cavaliers holding the runner at first. Second baseman shaded towards second, so a lot of room on that right side. Murphy showing a penchant for kind of hitting it through that hole. Pops it up, gonna stay on the infield in foul territory. Burnham able to squeeze it for the second out on the P2. Really looked like Murphy was aiming for that hole, but got under it and popped it up. He was in it. Godby at the plate was in on defense last inning after replacing the pinch runner Banks. Godby has power. It's what you need in this situation, looking for an extra base hit to tie it up. Takes the first pitch called, strike.
Godby is another one of these players for the Rebels that has been in and out of the lineup, but he's only appeared in 4 games and he's already batting .357 on the season.
And has a couple extra base hits, which is really what the Rebels need here. Trying to score Terra Nova from first. Tie this one up. Home run would win the game. That one misses inside. Looks like rain beginning to fall as fans are headed for cover. See if that affects the play on the field. Low, ball 3. Walk could put the tying run in scoring position. 2 outs in the 9th.
Codby has had a walk in all 4 appearances so far this year.
Big rip at a fastball on a 3-1 count. Fouls it off. Full count, 2 outs. That'll put Terranova in motion at first, which could come into play if Godby puts one in a gap or down the line. Either way here. Full count, 2 outs. Pitch, swing and a miss. He chases one outside. Cavaliers are going to hang on and have another close victory. 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, 2 runners left for the Rebels. Couldn't get it done tonight against the Cavaliers. Final line score, 6 runs on 12 hits and 2 errors for the Cavaliers, 4 runs on 12 hits and 1 error for the Rebels. Rebels fall to 7-5. Cavaliers up their record to 5-5. We will be back here on Tuesday night for a makeup game against the Strasburg Express. Wednesday night for a game against the Winchester Royals, and Friday night for a game against the Woodstock River Bandits. So we'll see lots of each other this week. I'm Andrew Kipps. He's Brandon. We're signing off from Rebel Park.